So let's talk about something. I realized that I haven't really talked about the diet stuff in a while. I imagine I have a couple of haters that probably thought that I've fallen off the wagon or this, that, or the other, or whatever. But that's not the case. I've had a couple of treats. Not in the sugar sense, but you know, kids and family and I went out for pizza yesterday. A couple weeks ago I had some Mexican food. Broke the keto thing, I guess. But a person told me since I'm so good the rest of the time that it really doesn't matter, and it hasn't. You know, it doesn't cause me to fall off the wagon. But here's the thing, man. If you fall off the wagon, and I see it all the time in the keto Facebook groups, whether it's trucking or non-trucking, get back up and get back on it. It's through failure that we succeed. Think about that. But I found the key to success. Your relationship with food has to change. That's what has to happen. All of us have vices, whether it be food, cigarettes, drugs, alcohol. You can be addicted to things like exercising or weightlifting. You know, there's also things that are deemed healthy that you can be addicted to, and it'll affect you. It's all about what is your relationship with food when it comes to the diet stuff. I've been successful at dieting. I've lost weight before. Hell, I lost 60 pounds one time doing an all fresh juice fast. I'll tell you what, that was a lot of work, especially in a truck. But I felt great. I felt amazing. Now looking back, I realized the reason why I felt amazing was not because of the vegetables, but it was because of not eating the processed stuff. And through this journey, I've realized that I had to change my relationship with food altogether, because I gained all that weight back and then some. Those of you who know me for the last 10 years, you've seen how much weight I've gained and what I used to look like, especially those of you who knew me in high school. So what changed? Well, at first I blamed it on the lack of exercise. You know, we have a very sedentary job, and that's a part of it. Don't get me wrong, it's a big part of it. But I can pinpoint when I started to gain weight, and it coincided when I stopped riding my bike as much as I used to. Started driving everywhere. But I was also had the freedom and the money to eat what I wanted. It was no longer within the limited confines of what my parents fed me. My dad ate pretty healthy. My dad was overweight in his 20s. And he turned it all around. And what he did was he changed his relationship with food. He despised truck stop food. He despised fast food restaurants. And he wasn't much for cake unless he baked it himself. He wasn't much for fried foods unless he did it himself. It's just like running a business. You learn through your failures. Okay, what caused you to fall off the wagon? What caused you to break your fast, or what caused you to go back to your old habits? What caused that? Find the root of that. There's your success. Keto works for me because I can do it easily on the road. but also it allowed me to stop eating just long enough to realize what kind of relationship I had with food. That's the big part. Extra bouncing, some bobtailing. I'm going to go get my trailer. You find the root of what makes you eat what you eat. Now, if you're a social eater and you like having stuff at holidays, there's nothing wrong with that. I've done it. I've had a couple of dinner rolls at holidays. You know, yesterday was a social event when we went and got pizza. But you know what? My relationship, my mental attitude towards that pizza, that's what was different. I had 4 slices, 4 small slices. The rest of it was salad and chicken soup without the noodles. And I felt like I wanted to throw up because I had eaten too much. I hadn't eaten like that in a long time. Normally in that restaurant, that establishment, I would have eaten like 4 or 5 plates of just nothing but pizza. And it was an eye-opening experience, because you hear about people that have a cheat day and then they kind of go off the rails. If you're the kind of person that hasn't changed your attitude about food, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to go off the rails if you have a cheat day. And I knew that about myself. So for the first year, I didn't have cheat days. Not one. Not even a little bit. Because I knew I needed to change things in my head. And that's been the key to my success so far. And last night was a test of my strength. It was a test of, can I do this without falling off the wagon? Absolutely. Because after that meal, I did not feel good. And I know a lot of people look up to me, look to me for inspiration. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay. It's okay if you break your fast a little bit early. It's okay if you have a potato every now and then. You know, it's not about perfection. It's about improvement. I'll tell you what, when it comes to running a trucking business, you can do everything perfect by the book, right? And then a breakdown will take you out. Even though you got money saved, even though you get your taxes done on time, even though you're running the right loads in the right lanes and you're doing everything absolutely correct, that one breakdown can take you out. What do? You get back up and you do it again. Perfection is not needed in what I'm doing. So if you're not perfect, don't worry about it. But I do know myself. You see, that's the thing. You got to look inside yourself. Find the truth. Find what drives you. For me, it was a combination of fear and just sick of being tired. Sick of being sick and tired. Sick of wearing things out faster because I was too big for them. You know, I still got to replace the seat. You know, I'm sick of falling asleep after every meal. I was sick of not being able to hold a conversation without grogging off. I was sick of a lot of things. And ever since I changed my attitude towards food, things have been a lot better, by far. And that's the key. You know, I can count on one hand how many times I've cheated in the last year. But you have to be careful. You know? Because if you're the, it's just like the scale. If you're the kind of person that the number's the only motivation, well, anytime that number's not right, it's going to be disheartening. It's going to be easier to give up. But if you gauge it by how you feel, then it doesn't matter what the scale says. And that's why I haven't weighed in lately. I'm down to I'm at 268 to 265, depending on how much water I've drank that day. That's about where I'm at. And I want to be lower. Another 40 pounds lower, I'll be absolutely ecstatic. But it's not about the number. I mean, I can get there easily if I go on a 9-day fast. No big deal. But I'm not going to do that because that's unrealistic. That doesn't change, if I ever go back. But I don't see myself going back to my old habits ever again, because I know how they almost destroyed me. Destroyed my life, destroyed relationships, destroyed how I think about the world and the things in it. And that's what keeps me motivated. Think about an alcoholic. They have to change their relationship with alcohol. That way you don't even want it. And that's kind of how I feel. I don't even want that kind of food. The kind of food that's more harmful to me. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you've fallen down, don't give up. Get back up. Brush yourself off. We don't expect perfection. Ignore the keto police. Ignore the diet snobs. Ignore the vegans and their attitude. Ignore people that are naysayers. And most people that are naysayers, it's because of their own weaknesses. I know that for a fact. You got to be honest with yourself. And until you're honest with yourself, it's hard to make changes. So, that being said, just a quick video. Done with the GoPro. If you look to me for inspiration, it's okay. It's okay to screw up. I had a good time with my family having that pizza. And you know what? I didn't gorge myself. And still ate fairly healthy. So, that being said, leave in the comments, something about how you've fallen down and gotten back up. Because that's the stories people want to hear. That's you can listen to successful people all day long, but the real successful ones will tell you that they've failed several times. They've fallen down several times. Failure's in the vocabulary a lot these days because of YouTubers dropping off the spot market, giving up their trucks and everything else. But I don't know. I consider a failure a learning experience myself. That's how you learn. It's through struggle that you learn. And if you're not struggling, maybe you're not pushing yourself enough. And if you fall down, now you're starting to push yourself. Get back up, push yourself some more. That being said, thanks for watching. Peace.